All right, so there were a lot of questions in the comment section of yesterday's video, so I'm going to jump right into the answers here. Number one, where can I buy your paintings? I did just deliver a whole bunch of paintings to Studio Gallery in San Francisco. I will link their website in the description below. And they're happy to ship anywhere in the country, and they have like an online gallery of my work. I'm trying to figure out a way to have maybe smaller work, like say 6x6 or 8x8, available on a website. So hopefully in the near future, I will have a website that'll have some more, some smaller work available. Have you ever been hit by a wave while painting? No, I haven't really been hit by a wave, but there have been times where maybe water is like rushed over my feet and got my shoes wet, that sort of thing. And so what I do now is I have a wave app, or not a wave app, but I have a Tide app on my phone. So before I paint, like if I'm at the beach or on some rocks, I'll look at the Tide app to see like which way the tide's coming. So if the tide is coming in, I'll make a mental note to be aware to like check periodically and look at the ocean. How do you prevent multiple layers of paint from mixing on the canvas? The first layers of paint are rather thin, and then you come over it with thick paint. When you lay that thick paint over the thinner paint and you make a definitive like one stroke, the color just goes right over. If you keep on like brushing and brushing, you're gonna mix it. So that's why I like to kind of just come in, and I like the look of strong brush work anyway, but it also keeps your color clean. Plus I'm constantly cleaning my brush as well. Do I listen to music when I paint? When I'm outdoors, no. I usually like the sounds of like the ocean and the waves. I could see using like maybe listening to music, if I were doing a roadside painting, but most of the time I just don't paint by the road. I always try to find a place that's kind of quiet. So I don't listen to music when I'm out painting. When I'm in the studio, it's interesting, like there's this cliche about like, artists listening to jazz. I really like Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, which obviously that's like the place to begin with jazz, but it's still just such a great record. I was never like a Bob Dylan fan, but for some reason listening to Bob Dylan while painting, I've really been enjoying that. Also Bossa Nova, I like that. I've got a collection of the best of Bossa Nova. I don't tend to listen to podcasts very much when I'm painting. I had done that for a while, but anyway, so basically outdoors, no. Indoors, yes. And that's kind of how I approach music while painting. What do I do with the excess paint on my palette? A lot of you guys know this already, but my palette, I have these, palette box like this, so I just leave the paint. I clean the mixing area every time, and then I just leave whatever paint is left over for the next day up here. Then I just close up my box and off I go, and I'm ready for the next day's painting. So I basically just clean the mixing area. That's it, and I'm constantly applying clean paint when I run out. Sometimes people will take the gray paint that they're from their mixing area and they'll save that, although there's really not much. When I scrape my palette at the end of a painting, I find that there's like very little left over. Have I ever used a mirror to check my composition? For me, doing 16x20s, I want to walk back about 10 or 15 feet to shrink down the size of the painting in my field of vision. It's an easy way to check your composition, and as you guys know, composition is the most important thing for me. If you can't walk back, say you're painting in a small room, some people, they'll use a mirror, and by like say holding the mirror, I don't know if this works, and then looking at your painting, it shrinks it down and it reverses it. That allows you to see the painting with fresh eyes. Because sometimes you're painting something and you lose track of whether the composition is good. So by taking that fresh look in the mirror, it shrinks down the image again, and it also reverses it. That gives you an idea if your composition is working. I used to carry a mirror with me, but I broke it in my backpack. It cracked within the first, I don't know, it was like, I think I had it in there for a month or two, and I wasn't really using it anyway. So what I do now, oftentimes, if I can't walk backwards and get distance from the canvas, I'll just take a picture with my phone. That shrinks the image down, and that really helps. Will you be attending the Plein Air Convention in San Francisco? No, I will not be attending the Plein Air Convention. And I want to be delicate about this because the Plein Air Convention is not for me. That's not kind of the thing that I would be interested in. The idea is that they're bringing all of these different, you know, plein air artists together, and they do demonstrations, and then you stay in a hotel, and there's just, it's a way of getting together with other plein air painters. I think it's about $1,000. I'm not sure how many nights or how many days it is. For me, if I were a beginning painter, I would find an artist that you really like and maybe take a workshop from that artist. That's just what I would do. But if you like conventions and you want to go to this sort of thing, check it out. But yeah, not for me. It's not for me. I don't know, I suppose, I like going out and painting with people, but I kind of enjoy painting maybe with 1 or 2 other people, and then painting alone as well. So I will not be going to the convention, but if it sounds interesting to you, then, you know, check it out and report back. Let me know what you think. Anyway, so those are the questions, answers to the questions. This is not like a proper Q&A, so I'm going to do a February Q&A. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I will try to get to those in the next Q&A. Anyway, other than that, thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you in the next video.